So I was just about to get my feet cut off by an angry boots lover when I was saved by that guy. Well, that guy conveniently divorced the head of the angry feet thief from the rest of his body. How convenient indeed. Although my right foot got inconveniently divorced from my right leg during the fight, unfortunately, and that whole inconvenient thing made me pass out. I then woke up in a strange cave, with the strange man who saved me standing in front of me. I had this odd feeling that something was missing. Well, what was missing was my right foot, of course, and that didn't feel right. I thought this was just a bad dream from which I would soon wake up, and therefore I jumped in the pool of water in the middle of the cave to wake myself up. No, it wasn't a dream, and I was wet from head to toe, or from head to wood. And I wasn't happy about that. I then said to the strange man that I wanted my foot back on my leg. To which he said unless he had the powers to go back in time and change the fate of my foot, that was impossible, sadly. But he knew someone, or should I say, someone's who could help me with my foot predicament. I didn't know then, but I was about to embark the ship of the strange and curious adventures once again. This is when the strange man asked me if I was sure I wanted to follow him. He told me after this, there was no turning back. Well, that wasn't ominous at all. I didn't really understood what he said after that, but he presented me two options. I take the blue grubs. The story ends, I wake up in my sloop, and I believe what I want to believe. Or I take the red grubs. I stay in Wonderland, and he shows me how deep the rabbit hole goes. Well, I took the red grubs because they looked tastier. And I can't really describe what happened next, but it's about the grubs you have in your pockets. I woke up in another cave. And trust me, from now on, this is going to be a recurring theme. But before I tell you what happened next, I want you to remind you a bit who the strange man is. For those of you who weren't there, the last time I met him, he told me he was part of a group of people pirates don't ever see. But ever since the Smugglers League arrived, he became homeless, or should I say caveless, because they sealed the entrance of his cave. But he found a new one, so don't worry about it. And so I was ready to meet the rest of the group he was a part of. Let me tell you, I wasn't ready actually, no. So in the cave where I woke up, the first person I met was Stanley, Master of the Stools. What a strange title. You see, Stanley was the guy in charge of replenishing the stools you may find on islands. So if you ever took one on the beach, that was Stanley's. However, he couldn't do anything about my right foot. Of course not, he makes stools. And the people who could were further down in the depths of the earth. So we went on our way and said goodbye to Stanley. The next person I met was Benjamin Bean. And Benjamin Bean was the man in charge of the fruits and other silly things pirates eat. But he loves beans so much that he is the sole reason there are no beans in the Sea of Thieves, because he eats all of them before anyone else can, hence his name. And Benjamin, being blissfully bewitched by beautiful beans, beseeched me for a brimming bowl of beauteous buttery beans. And you're probably wondering, but where in fact did I fervently forever forage for a fabulously fresh, fragrant, finely flavored and fantastically fulfilling food? And also did I face ferocious foes for the fate of the fabulously flavorful food? Well, no, because I was there to get a new foot. So we said goodbye to Mr. Bean and went further down in that strange cave system. Although I think I am not going to bore you with all the details of every cave we stepped in. So here's the rest of the caves in no particular order. There was the cave of Trevor the Trapper, very spiky. Then the pig cave, the snake cave and the chicken cave. I really hated that one. Also, there was one for the seagulls, and then the cannonballs cave. After that, there was the cave where the time goes faster. This is where they age things, like wine for instance. Although you have to get your hair cut after that one, since you age faster. Then there was the cave where people get stuck on the walls, the cave where you have to walk backwards unless you want to wake up the eldritch entity. Oops, sorry. Then the cave where you forget how to speak. Followed by the cave where you remember how to speak. That was interesting. After that, there was the purple cave. Yep, it's all purple. And the yellow cave. But be careful with that one, you could get lost in there. Further down, there was the cave where they make other caves. Then the upside down cave. Followed by the slightly slanted cave that led to a not so slightly slanted slide. And that slide dropped us in the Cave of Sorrow, where they collect the tears of the sad pirates who got their loot stolen. The water is very salty in there. This is also where they make barnacle chests. I was beginning to wonder how many more caves there were. And for your own sanity, I'm going to skip the rest of them. And so, we were finally almost at the last cave. We just had to go through a portal first. The strange man asked me how strong were my, bones? I thought this was a strange question, until we went through the portal. And this is when I saw them. The strange man said I could only ask for one thing, and one thing only. So I asked if I could go back to a time when I didn't meet Pedro yet, when my cat was a real cat, and when I was still able to protect the ones I cared about. Unfortunately, this was the one thing they couldn't do. Going back in time. Well then, I asked to get my right foot back on my leg, and in the blink of an eye, I was on top of the world. And I mean quite literally, because I didn't know where we landed, but it was very high. But good news, my right foot was back. Yes, finally, After that, I had this thought that maybe I should have asked for something like infinite riches or grubs or something valuable at least. Well, that will be all for today, pirates. Come back another time for another story. And don't forget to say thank you to those who work in the shadows to make this world go round. Au revoir.